Hello everyone and welcome to the latest video comparison of Maewa, Primrose, and Lotus. As I do these videos, I'll condense them down, try to get you the same information as always, always learning, always changing things. So without further ado, I'll go ahead and get into it and start with Maewa. But I do want to just say real quickly that I'm also working on Musa and all the three variations of Musa at the same time. So that will be the next comparison video that I put out. So once again, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into Maewa and enjoy the video, guys. See you in the next slide. Okay, here we go. We're starting with Maewa. And without further ado, I know I say that a lot, but it's a catchy phrase. Let's go ahead and jump into her skills. I'll just let you know right ahead that all of the skills are unlocked, so I'm going to show you what they are and then go from there. So let's move on to the next slide. Okay, so here we go. And as if you need to, go ahead and just pause the video so you could take a look at all of Maewa's skills. But I wanted to point out that you see the 5 skills on the left that are colored in red. Those skills are shared with Musa. So Musa has those same skills. And there's going to be something interesting that happens when you see Maewa turn into Lotus. So I'll go ahead and get into that a little bit later. But just wanted to point that out as we move into the next part of the video. Here we go. Okay, and here is all of the skills, slowly showing you all the details. If you're new to the video, what I do is I go what I call around the wheel to show you all the details with each skill and what you get. So there are those players out there that want to know everything about a character. They like to map it out before they spend the time to level the character up to 60 to 70. Before they put the commitment into it, they really like to know what they're getting into. So that's why I do this video, is to show you each thing that you'll get when you create this character and go forward with it. So as we go around the wheel here, you'll see each of the skills, and as you saw from the skills list, that there's a lot to go through. So but I will mention that now that I had a chance to enjoy Maewa and Lotus and Primrose, that I'm really impressed. They do a good job with Maewa. Her skills are graphically, visually appealing. They're really something to see. I kind of wish I could boost Maewa up and give her stronger skills like Lotus and Primrose, but nope, that's the way this game goes. So you have a choice. If you want to enjoy her the way she is and not ascend her or do anything else, that's fine. But she's pretty enjoyable, I must say. So going around, let's see, we're on Blinding Thrust now. Yeah, and that one's nice. A lot, and I did notice that with Musa as well as Maewa that they have skills that have a lot of stun, daze, knockdown. So really, if you're not sure, should I make this character, they definitely bring a lot to the table when it comes to PvP. If you're a PvP player, you should definitely consider this video and see if Maewa is the right fit for you. Personally, I can tell you that I have chosen one of her forms, and I'll give away what that is towards the end of the video. but it's been very enjoyable throughout the whole thing. I mean, she is definitely well thought out and has a lot of really good skills as well as enhancements to those skills. So it looks like we're on Chaos now, moving on to Retaliation. It would be really nice to see people take these new characters and go forward with them and make videos of how they do in Arena and I think it's pronounced Ramonis or Ramonis. So that'll be something just to watch those gameplay videos and see what people truly do to elevate them and max out all their skills and just see the true talent of knowing your character very, very well. Let's see where we are on Serpent Sting. Okay. Moving right along. And I did notice for Maehwa that she's got some skills that have multipliers with them, ×2, ×3. Maybe I'll go back and look at my own skill list to verify that, but I can tell you for Lotus as well as Primrose, that is the case. Very exciting stuff. So we're on Charged Shot right now. That's pretty heavy. Level 12 to get that, and level 17 to get that. Ooh, you're going to be buying a lot of books. Still going. Wind Slicer's next. And also, as you're watching this video, and when I get to the section for Maewa in player versus enemy or player versus player, I take the details and highlight in red where it says super armor with the asterisk. That is the game letting us know that when you're in arena that super armor does not apply, but it would in, I believe, Ramonis. And if you were with your guild and you were fighting out in the open, then it would definitely apply. But if you go into the arena, no, the super armor will not be there for you. So have no worries. Same thing. When we get to that point, you can pause the video and take a look at it and go, you know, I'm a big PvP player. Maybe I should, you know, reconsider a different variation of her, or you know, take these things into consideration with when choosing a character you want to make as your main or just simply enjoy. Let's see where we at. Blooming Divide. And they also, for the branches of damage, you know, Ahib, Surret, and Owl, and the other one I just can't think of right now, they do a good job separating that out. So this looks like the last major skill, Flash Step. Very graphically, that's something. It really is. It's almost like they should have named Maewa with all her skills Lotus flower, because lots of pink and flowers fly everywhere. And of course your basic skill, Blade Mastery, 6 attacks. I try to show you those 6 attacks. Don't tell anyone, but I think I keep seeing 5. So if it says 6, you get 6. Okay, so here we go. This is my top 8 skills that I recommend for Maewa, for player versus enemy. You'll see that they're highlighted in green, and you can see the reason why. I always choose the higher percentage for the top 8 skills that you should go with. Now, the reason why I didn't choose Blinding Thrust, which is the second one at the top, is because it requires MP points, whereas all the others don't. They're ready to go. You know, what if you run out of MP points? That's not going to work for you. You have the option to incorporate that in. I just wanted you to have 8 skills that go and kick some butt. So, yeah, Blinding Thrust would probably be a good replacement over the Falling Petal, which is the one at the very bottom at 120%, because the Blinding Thrust is 125% times 2. So you might want to go with it, and it stuns. So, and the other one dazes. Yeah, it's an option, but this is the recommendation for going player versus enemy. So we'll go ahead and move on to player versus player. See you then. Okay, so here's the player versus player lineup, and in case you didn't catch it, you may want to go back to the previous slide, but the last skill where it says charge shot has been swapped out. So where you see chaos, the one above it, retaliation, and the one below it, charge shot, were not chosen for player versus enemy, but they are chosen for player versus player because those percentages were higher for PvP than they were for PvE. So that is the only change to make you aware and to look out for. Now again, this is based solely on percentage and high percentage damage. So again, you can choose the Blinding Thrust over the Charge Shot, which would be 250 total percentage damage over the 109.25 that the Charge Shot does. So the 250 stuns, the 109 also has a stun and a max of 4 hits. So it's a judgment call on your side, but at least throw all these that I recommend in green on there, enjoy them, try them out, see how it works for you, and feel free to change it up. At least you have a base on where to start with, and you can see which ones are the higher damage, and then get into the details of, well, do I want one with stun? Do I want one with knock up? Maybe I want as many stuns as possible. That works for chaining them, and the game also shows you how to chain them too. But here's my top 8, and we'll go ahead. Now that you have seen Maewa in completion, I'll go ahead and move on to the next variation, which is Primrose, and we'll go ahead and get into her. See you on the next slide. Alright, welcome to the next class change, which is the Awakened version of Maewa, and it is Primrose. So there's something I wanted to introduce to you that looks like it's new, and that is Primrose has ice elemental abilities about her. So you will see that in her skills, and it looks like when I get into Musa, he may have fire abilities, so I'll look forward to checking that out. But I wanted to call attention to what makes Primrose special. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and jump into all of her skills. See you there. Okay, so what you're looking at is the top 5, which are pink colored skills. Those are the ones that you get when you upgrade to Primrose, so you can see all the details that goes with it. First thing you'll notice right off the bat on the right hand side is, oh look, there's three skills that I can't use in the arena for super armor. That's the red with the asterisk I was trying to show you or tell you about. But there is another one, and that is Frigid Burst. When you unlock it, that you can. So all is not lost. There's also Cold Snap that also has super armor. So, 3 you can't, 2 you can. There's a lot of forward. There's a lot of knock up, knockdown. There's a forward guard. Lots of good stuff for this character. So just be aware that you'll need to get them all unlocked, and then you'll have a good idea of, okay, now I'm ready. Let's go to work and really make this character my main and really use everything that she's got. So I'll go ahead and get into the video that shows all the details, and I'll see you there. Okay, here's the beginning of all the details of all the skills. As I showed you in the last slide, there's about 5 skills that you have. So as always, we'll go around the wheel and give you all the details. And now you can see for Infinistab, the super armor, and it says not applied in arena. So it says arena. That may not mean Ramonis. I haven't really checked that detail out, so I don't know, but it's worth checking out. And I do know that I told you that she has ice elemental abilities. So it's not every skill, but it's more than likely the ones that are unlocked. So we'll show you those, of course. But in the meantime, we're just going around the wheel here and showing you all the details that come with each of the 5 skills that you get when you upgrade to Primrose. And here's what I was telling you about. You can see the not the increase in targets, but the ×2 multiplier. So yes, you're into the territory of skills that have multipliers. I mean, good heavens, for PvE that's 1400%. That's pretty good. That's really good. Yep, moving up to absolute 0. Look at that, ×3 multipliers. Unbelievable. It's more than 1800, 1900 for PvE, and maybe 1600 for PvP. Real nice damage. I think the only drawback I saw was the one hit. So you got to really place that one hit and connect for it to get you the damage that you're looking for. And of course, this is your basic attack, maximum of 3 attacks. It's the mastery. And with that, we'll go ahead and show you the skills that you can unlock and go from there. See you in the next slide. Okay, so here's the list for all the skills that you unlock for Primrose. And as you can see, honestly, I'm noticing with all these characters that they're very forgiving on some, and others they just really sock it to you with what you need to do. So if you look at the Midnight Requiem, the second from the bottom, defeat world bosses ×3. That's not bad at all. Whereas some of the others that I've unlocked, it was specific bosses and you had to wait a few days before they show up. So it looks like Pearl Abyss is trying to make things a little bit easier for you when you're trying to unlock them all. And quite honestly, it was nice that they chain together. So if I did the first one, Frigid Burst, and tried to get 4,000, then the second to the last and the last one, defeat 5,000 and defeat 7,000, they all tied in together. So I was unlocking 2 or 3 at the same time. Really, really nice. So we'll go ahead and, through the magic of time, show you the remainder of the skills and all the details. I'll see you there. And now we get into the remainder of the unlocked skills. all the skills for Primrose. So as always, we'll move around the wheel here and show you what she has. And you can see that they're really trying to reinforce that ice elemental thing with the naming convention. So this one's called Frigid Burst. And Glacial Wall, there it is. Inflicts freeze on hit. Very nice. Look at that ×3 multiplier as well. Yup. Very, very nice. Yeah, just going around. La Breve. And if you're still wondering what branches you should choose, you know, it's really your call. I mean, Owl is big damage. You know, more damage than you already do, which would work great for her. You can go into the branch that gives you critical, so you not only hit harder, but you crit and you do more damage. So that might be good. Or some of the things I like to do is I'll do the one that hits more people, because I like to farm, and when I farm, I want to farm the heck out of a map and just really go to town. So I want to hit as many people as I possibly can and just spread out the damage. So your call. Hitting as many people as possible is not really good in arena, but yeah, I mean, that's the fun of changing things around. So that's nice, increasing your AP. And I also want to point out Petal Ward, the one that I just showed you recently. Forward Guard. I have a guildmate that his character used Forward Guard on me all the time, and it's pretty formidable. So to see it with Primrose, oh my gosh, lots of fun to be had there. Forward Guard is just really protects you. You know, it's a really good protection skill versus anything that they throw at you, your opponent throws at you. So just be aware. I wanted to point that one out. So it looks like we're into Relentless Strike. I mean, you'll notice, oh my gosh, these multipliers, you know, you got more multipliers. This is great. And Finesse, look at that. Hold the skill button to perform an additional attack. Oh my, really nice. If you got someone stunned or knocked down and you can perform that additional attack, very, very nice. This is great too. Power of the Apricot, that's your heal. Even increases your crit. So any way you can work it in, that's why we're showing you this. And I believe that is the last of the skills. So now we have the player versus enemy, and these are my top 8 skills that I recommend. As you can clearly see, once again, for Primrose, she has multipliers coming out all over. Lots of multipliers, ×2, ×3. I mean, look at your top 1. Petal Ward, Forward Guard, Dazed on Hit, 750 ×2. Oh my gosh, very, very nice. But one time hit. I don't mention what the cooldown is. I'm sure you could find a few skills to keep going after that and come back to it. So as always, depending on what you're doing, usually people out in the field going against enemies, not other players, want their heal with them. So feel free to, Moonrise is the lowest one, and this is all of the ones highlighted in green are the ones I'm recommending. So if you want to remove Moonrise and put in Power of the Apricot, then be my guest. But this gives you a good starting point on what to choose. So we'll go ahead and get into the player versus player. See you there. Okay, here's the player versus player, and I do want to call your attention to what is different. That is the last skill on highlighted in green, which is Midnight Requiem. That has switched places with Moonrise. So in player versus enemy, it has a higher percentage. You can visually see it at 350%. For player versus enemy and player versus player, Midnight Requiem is better than Moonrise. So those two are the only thing that swapped. You'll notice that Absolute Zero and Frost Halo kind of did a dance, but it's still in the top 8 skills that I recommend for you. And as I mentioned for Maewa, be aware of the super armor and that the super armor does not work in arena if it's colored red with the asterisk. So, plan accordingly, and I'm pretty sure you won't be disappointed because you got lots of other things. You can freeze, you can knock up, you got forward guard. I mean, you got quite a toolbox of things that you can do to have a lot of fun with your opponent. So, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and move into the next person, which is Lotus, and we will get a chance to check her out and what she can do. So I'll see you there. Bye now. Alright, so now we are on to the third and final variation of Maewa, which is Lotus. Well, the second one, really. But I did want to explain something to you, and that is when I had Maehwa, I think when I created, we all got this certificate that allowed you to instantly get a level 60 character with everything unlocked. Everything unlocked part, I wasn't sure because it was the first time using a certificate. So when I got Lotus, I had no idea what was given to you and what you needed to work to unlock. So I apologize. This section is going to go a little bit quicker because, well, everything's unlocked. So I'll show you her skills and we'll jump into the video and go from there. But it'll be a little bit quicker than than Primrose. So I'll see you there. Okay, so as you'll see, the skills, they're all colored pink. That's with what I said previously just a few seconds ago, which is I just don't know what you get when you get into Lotus and what you need to unlock. So I apologize for that, but without further ado, you can see everything in front of you. And here we're at that point where I wanted to say that isn't it interesting that Maewa transferred 4 of the skills that you originally used with Maewa to Lotus: Blood Moon, Chaos, Wind Slicer, and Flash Step. So if you enjoyed Maewa and you enjoyed those skills, well, congratulations, Lotus beefed them up. So now they're so much more powerful and come with some goodies. So and they've even changed some of the hits. You may see it less, you may see it more. But let's go ahead and get into the details for Lotus. And again, everything's unlocked, so it'll just be showing all of these skills from Crescendo all the way down to Invigorate. And we'll get into the remainder of it, PVE and PVP, and go from there. I'll see you then. Okay, here we go, and this is the details of all the skills that Lotus has. So we'll just go around the wheel here and show you each one. It's going to be a little long because, like I said, this is all of them unlocked, so just one video was all that was needed instead of breaking it up into 2. And we'll just let this keep going. But we'll add that they did a good job adding enhancements to these skills to make it so much better. decrease in time, changing things around. Do notice the skills that allow you super armor, even in arena. So keep a lookout for that. The Blood Moon was my favorite because of the 7 hits, but this one is 5 hits. So I can't argue. Lotus is pretty nice. So it'll be up to the comparison at the very end to see which way I go, whether it's going to be Lotus or Primrose. See what you guys are on. Wind Slicer. Yep. Believe that was a previous skill, so they just beefed it up. Yeah, chance to cause extra damage. It's one of the things I'm missing when I take my Archmage into Arena or Ramonis, is she's just not hitting as strong as she could because of the branches that I chose. So I can only imagine how much harder she would hit if I did go for that extra damage with the Hib and complement it with Owl, which is higher damage. That's nice. Bleed. That was a really good one. And again, retaliation. Look at that. Grants forward guard. I can't stress enough how good that is. Sorry about the other messages that you may see during the video. There's a Dark Sun event going on while I'm recording this video, so you do what you can, get things in, trying to get the videos put together and get out at a reasonable rate so you guys have the information and you can make a judgment on which way you'd like to go. Musa, Maehwa, what do they have to offer, why should I do it. There's a lot of us that put videos out, so this one you can enjoy and add your arsenal of, well, I'm going to choose this person because of all these things that I'm seeing. So, good stuff. Yeah, increase range. Very nice. 2 attacks, but you get a knock up to your opponent. Was that, I think, on the last hit? Yeah, last hit. Yep. Yep, moving around the wheels. Yep, increased skill damage. And Surette was not. Bluing Divide. I mean, come on, look at that. That multiplier's times 5. Egads. 1,500%. Now you got, what's that? 1,100% for PvP. So you can seriously sit down with a video like this, or even go to where I break it down on the slides and show you the percentages and literally go, well, this character has 1,500 and this variation doesn't even get that high. Choice is easy. So, or you can pause during a video where I show the skills and print screen that, print it out, and then print out the other one, and then you'll see that side by side. But I do that for you at the end of the video for the comparison and wrapping up the video. So as soon as this section is done, then I will move straight into the comparison, and we'll go ahead and allow you to see it all together. I think I did something differently this time, which was broke up the comparison so that you see Maewa and all the detail, and then you see Lotus and Primrose together, because usually that's the most common choice that people want to make is, do I want Lotus or Primrose? Tell me, why should I choose one over the other? And this slide does it for you. And Invigorate, there's your heal. Very nice. And rounding out to the last one, which is Blood Mastery, your basic. Yep, that is the last one. 6 attacks. I think I said this last time. 5 attacks is what I see, but who cares? It's a basic attack. It's there to enjoy and work into your arsenal. Alright, here's the player versus enemy and the lineup. As always, the area in green is the top 8 skills that I recommend for you to start out with for Lotus. Again, Invigorate is your heal, so if you wanted to replace the lowest one, it would be Blood Moon, and throw in Invigorate, your call. But try these out. You see why you're choosing them. With the Evasive Strike, the very first one being the top, which is, well, actually that's not true. That's 840, and it's actually Blooming Divide. Blooming Divide with that ×5 multiplier. So that's 1500 and some change percentage damage. And it throws a bleed and days on hit. So that would be the top skill that you definitely want to make sure you have in there. But as a reminder, all the ones that are red with super armor with the asterisk, you cannot use in arena. So that doesn't mean you don't have some that you can, like Blood Moon, you can. So just be aware, take a look at all the skills that you're given, and just make the adjustments when you're out there fighting enemy. This isn't critical because it's not something you would do with player versus player, but when you're out there fighting the regular creatures, these are the ones I'd recommend. So let's go on to player versus player. Okay, here's the player versus player, and what you'll notice is the Wind Slicer and Chaos have changed places. So Chaos is now in and Wind Slicer is out for player versus enemy versus player. So that is what has changed. However, if you want to add a heal when you're in arena or Ramonis, then Chaos is completely out, maybe, so you can get Invigorate and get your heal in. Other than that, everything remains the same. Blooming Divide is your big hit ticket right there, and you see that Blood Moon is the one that hits 7 times, Flash Step 6 times, but when you're lining up your skills for player versus player, you're probably going to take into effect what super armor can do and what it can't do. Meaning, for example, the Flash Step, you won't get super armor in arena, but if you went with Blood Moon, you would. So these are the top 8 that I recommend for you, and without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the comparison between Maewa, Primrose, and Lotus, and we'll close out the video. So I will see you there. Alright, so once again, this is the Maewa's skill list. If you wanted to print it out, and it shows you the 5 skills that she carried over, that she shares in common with Musa. That's the ones in red, and it shows all of the percentages and hits and charges. So as you can see, With all characters in the beginning, they don't their damage is not that hard hitting. So Pearl Abyss gives you a lot to choose from. So you can customize it to however you like. And yeah, feel free to pause this. Like I said, print it out. Just take a good look at it. Hopefully the graphic detail is so you can read it. I really hope so. I try to get that. But this will give you one area that you can focus on and see what you like and see what you want to change up without having to go through it all in the game. So we'll go ahead and move on to Lotus and Primrose, and we'll get some details on who I chose and why. So I'll see you there. And here we are. This is the point behind the whole video, to give you the overview, show you all the details of all three characters. And now we're at the part that I like, which is who should I choose. So looking at Lotus and Primrose, I can tell you easily I chose Primrose. I liked her damage output. As you can see, for PVE, she has Frost Halo, which is 700% times 2, so 1400%. Blooming Divide for Lotus just gets up to 1500%, so just barely does it, but has some nice specials along with it. But that just doesn't compare with Absolute Zero. You know, that's 18, which is better than Frost Halo. And you know, you got Glacial Wall, you know, that's 1200. And you know, even Cold Snap. I mean, the multipliers and the sheer amount of damage that she can inflict just appeals to me. Now that's PvE. PvP, looking at them both, you can see same thing, is that Primrose is strictly geared towards both PvE and PvP. I mean, good heavens, Petal Ward, you know, forward guard, days on hit, and does 1200% damage. That is really nice. And the other one, Absolute Zero, almost 1600. You can't use super armor, but you got knockdown when you hit them. Perfect. Really, really good. So I think, in my opinion, that you'll enjoy Primrose in Arena, as well as Ramonis, and even out there in the field fighting creatures. So much better. But as always, the choice is yours. Lotus is a very good character. She's got a lot of great skills, and she has her strengths and weaknesses. So it's a matter of what appeals to you. But for me, and just me alone, I think of characters that I want to strengthen over time for Path of Glory. That will make my Path of Glory easier. I want people in there that will just mow down. And you know they're going to keep going on Path of Glory. So if your group is just really strong, can kill multiple creatures easily, then that's just going to make it so much more enjoyable and easier for you when they keep adding levels to Path of Glory. Same thing for the tower, is if they're pretty strong, put them all together, oh my gosh, you'll be wondering when they add more levels to tower. So thank you very much for watching this video. I'm going to just go ahead and close out. I'll put up one more screenshot of all three ladies and then close out the video. So thank you once again for watching, and you have a wonderful day. Talk to you then. Bye now.